Bonjour and welcome viewers and students to Let's Speak French, Parlons Français. These lessons on basic French are short and easy, and if you follow the program regularly, I can assure you that very soon you will be able to understand French quite easily. The previous session focused on telling time in French. In today's session, we will learn how to speak about the weather and the climate. This lesson has been divided into 3 sections. In the first section, I will read out a French text that focuses on the weather. Then, in the next section, I will explain the different ways of talking about the climate. And finally, in the third section, we will do an exercise to revise what we learned in today's session. We'll begin the lesson with the French text. This text consists of 3 friends chatting online about the weather in their respective countries. Discussion climatique. Yann. Que pensez-vous de ces conditions météorologiques inhabituelles? C'est très alarmant ce qui se passe dans le monde actuellement. Massa, quel temps fait-il chez toi? Ici, en Afrique centrale, on dirait qu'on est à la mi-juin. Il fait très chaud. On est accablé par une chaleur torride et une humidité écrasante. Le soleil brille très fort pendant la journée et on est placé en alerte canicule. Le ciel est sans nuages, mais on prévoit de violents orages et des inondations. Chez vous? Ici, au sud de la France, il fait beau depuis le 10 avril. Le matin, le temps est brumeux et il fait assez frais. Pendant la journée, il y a un vent doux et agréable qui souffle du sud. Les soirs, il y a souvent quelques gouttes de pluie. Et la nuit, les nuages se dissipent et le ciel est clair et plein d'étoiles. Mais c'est une toute autre histoire au nord de la France. Ben oui, ici au nord de la France, il fait un temps épouvantable. Depuis une semaine, il pleut sans arrêt à Paris. On dirait que c'est la mousson. Une tempête de grêle ravage la Bretagne et la Normandie. Dans la région Grand Est, il neige en abondance. Les gens sont avisés d'être particulièrement prudents sur les routes puisque le verglas et les bancs de brouillard rendent la circulation extrêmement dangereuse. Même en hiver, il ne fait pas aussi mauvais. So this was a short text where we come across many formulas and phrases associated with weather. In the next section, I will explain to you how to talk about the weather and the seasons in French. La météo or la météorologie means weather forecast, while climat means climate. The word for weather is temps, and this is the word that we'll study today. The verb that is generally used when talking about weather is faire, which means to do. In English, we use the verb to be. For example, we say, how is the weather? As you can see, it is the verb to be that is used in the sentence. In French, it is the verb faire that is used. More specifically, it's the impersonal form of the verb faire that is used. The impersonal form is the third person singular. Il fait. Le temps and il fait are the key words when talking about the weather in French. So when you want to ask someone how is the weather in French, you would say quel temps fait-il? Quel temps fait-il is the French equivalent of how's the weather, although literally it translates as what weather is it doing? Now let me show you the various answers that are possible to this question. To simplify things, we will first consider the structure il fait plus adjective. Il fait beau translates as it's beautiful weather or it's sunny weather. Beau means beautiful or sunny. Il fait beau, it's beautiful weather or it's sunny weather. Il fait mauvais translates as it's bad weather. Mauvais means bad. Il fait mauvais, it's bad weather. Il fait chaud translates as it's hot. Chaud means hot. Il fait chaud, it's hot. Il fait froid translates as it's cold. Froid means cold. Il fait froid means it's cold. Il fait frais translates as it's cool. Frais means cool. Il fait frais means it's cool. Il fait humide translates as it's humid. The word humide is the same in English, humid. Il fait humide means it's humid weather. Il fait nuageux translates as it's cloudy. Nuageux means cloudy. Il fait nuageux means it's cloudy weather. Il fait orageux translates as it's stormy. Orageux means stormy. Il fait orageux translates as it's stormy weather. Il fait brumeux translates as it's misty. Brumeux means misty. Il fait brumeux means it's misty weather. You can use the word très, which means very, for all of the above phrases to emphasize that it's not just cold or warm, but very cold or very warm. For example, il fait très nuageux aujourd'hui. It's very cloudy today. Les matins, il fait très froid translates as in the mornings, it's very cold. You can use a different structure to answer the question, how's the weather? This structure consists of il fait plus partitive article plus noun. Il fait du vent translates as it's windy. Vent means wind. Il fait du vent, it's windy weather. Il fait du soleil translates as it's sunny. Soleil means sun. Il fait du soleil means it's sunny weather. Il fait du brouillard translates as it's foggy. Brouillard means fog. Il fait du brouillard means it's foggy weather. With this structure, you cannot use the word très. So you cannot express very windy or very foggy with this structure. A third structure that is similar to the above structure is il y a plus partitive article plus noun. Il y a du vent translates as it's windy. Il y a du vent and il fait du vent both mean it's windy weather. Il y a du soleil translates as it's sunny. Il y a du soleil and il fait du soleil both mean it's sunny weather. Il y a du brouillard translates as it's foggy. Il fait du brouillard and il y a du brouillard both mean it's foggy weather. It's again not possible to use the word très with this structure. Another structure that I'll show you consists of le temps est plus adjective. Le temps est mauvais. The weather is bad. Le temps est brumeux. The weather is misty. A fifth structure exists as well. This structure does not use the verb faire. Il pleut translates as it's raining. Pleu is the impersonal form of the verb pleuvoir, which means to rain. Il pleut, it's raining. Il neige translates as it's snowing. Neige is the impersonal form of the verb neiger, which means to snow. Il neige translates as it's snowing. Il gèle translates as it's freezing. Gel is the impersonal form of the verb geler, which means to freeze. Il gèle means it's freezing. You can use the word beaucoup, which means a lot, for the verbs neiger and pleuvoir to emphasize that it's not just raining or snowing, but it's raining or snowing heavily. For example, il pleut beaucoup aujourd'hui. It's raining a lot today, or it's raining heavily today. Hier, il a beaucoup neigé. Yesterday, it snowed a lot, or yesterday, it snowed heavily. But you cannot use the adverb beaucoup with the verb geler. En abondance means in abundance. In the text, il neige en abondance means it snows heavily. Now I'll give you a few verbs and phrases that are linked to a few different types of weather conditions, such as cold, hot, and pleasant weather. Hot, sunny, bright weather conditions. In the text, Massa talks about hot weather. Here are a few phrases from his description of the heat in Central Africa. I have included a few other phrases as well. Le soleil brille. The sun shines. Briller means to shine. Le soleil brille. The sun shines. Le soleil brille fort. Fort is used to indicate that the sun is shining very brightly or strongly. Le soleil brille fort. Chaleur, which is a feminine noun, means heat, and many adjectives can be used to describe the intensity of the heat. Whatever the adjective, it must, however, always be in the feminine form because chaleur is feminine. Chaleur torride means a hot and dry heat. Chaleur sèche means a dry heat. Chaleur étouffante means a stifling heat. Écrasante means crushing. It can be used with chaleur or with humidité, which, as you may have guessed, means humidity. Une chaleur écrasante or une humidité écrasante translate as a crushing or an oppressive heat or humidity. Alerte canicule. Canicule means heat wave, and alerte canicule translates as heat wave warning. Massa tells his friends that they have been put on alert over the heat wave as the rising temperature grips the Central African region. On est à la mi-juin. Juin is June. Mi-juin translates as mid-June. Ami plus month is an adverbial phrase that can precede any month to indicate the middle of a particular month. Cold and wet weather conditions. In the text, Jan talks about the cold weather. The rain, the snow, and the storm all lead to a cold and wet weather. Here are a few phrases from Jan's description of the cold weather conditions in the north of France. Il fait un temps épouvantable. Épouvantable means horrendous or extremely bad. This structure is il fait un temps plus adjective is another way of describing the weather. The adjective that is used to describe the weather is always placed after temps. For example, il fait un temps splendide. It's splendid weather, or it's a splendid day. Il fait un temps abominable. It's horrible weather, or it's a horrible day. La pluie. La pluie means the rain. Il pleut sans arrêt. Sans arrêt is an adverbial phrase which means non-stop. It can be used with the verb neiger but not with geler. Il neige sans arrêt. Pleuvoir à verse and pleuvoir à torrent both mean to rain heavily. The adjective that is derived from the noun pluie is pluvieux. For example, le temps est pluvieux. Quelques gouttes de pluie or une pluie légère means a light shower, while la bruine means drizzle. The verb is bruiner. La mousson. La mousson means monsoon. Yann compares the non-stop rain in the north of France to the seasonal downpour. Inondation means flood, and the verb is inonder, to flood. Orage et tempête. In French, a storm is translated as orage when it consists of heavy wind and rain. Tempête, on the other hand, means heavy wind but no rain. Une tempête de grêle is a hailstorm. Verglas, which means black ice, and banc de brouillard, which translates as fog bank, are dangerous weather conditions that make traveling by road very risky. En hiver. Hiver means winter. When situating an event in a season, the preposition en is used. Au printemps, in spring, en été, in summer, en automne, in autumn, and en hiver, in winter. Here are phrases to indicate an overcast day or a stormy sky. Le ciel est gris. The sky is cloudy. Il fait gris. It's cloudy. Le ciel est couvert. The sky is overcast. Le vent souffle. The wind blows. Le vent souffle fort. The wind blows hard. And finally, pleasant weather. In the text, Olivier talks about the pleasant weather. Here are a few phrases from his description of the fine weather conditions in the south of France. Un vent doux et agréable. Vent means wind, but in this context it means breeze. The adjectives doux and agréable, which mean gentle and pleasant respectively, indicate the nature of the wind. Le ciel means the sky. Le ciel est dégagé. The sky is cloudless. Le ciel est plein d'étoiles. The sky is full of stars. La date, which means the date. In French, when indicating a precise date, the definite article le must precede the day, which is then followed by the month. For example, le 10 avril. In this third section, we will revise what we learned in today's lesson on the weather. A short exercise has been provided below. We need to find the option that is the right translation of the phrase in English. It's hot. Il fait brumeux. Il fait chaud. Il fait beau. The right answer is B. Il fait chaud. It's hot. It snows in winter. Il neige en hiver. Il pleut en hiver. Il gèle en hiver. The right answer is A. Neiger means to snow. Il neige en hiver. It snows in winter. The sky is clear. Le ciel est gris. Le ciel est couvert. Le ciel est clair. The right answer is C. Le ciel est clair. The sky is clear. Clair means clear. It's windy. Il fait du brouillard. Il fait du soleil. Il fait du vent. The right answer is C. Il fait du vent. It's windy. Vent means wind. The sun shines. Le tonnerre gronde. Le soleil brille. Le vent souffle. The right answer is B. Le soleil brille. The sun shines. Soleil means sun. With this, we come to the end of our third lesson. This lesson was divided into 3 sections. In the first section, I read a French text that focused on the different phrases associated with weather. In the second section, I explained the different ways of talking and describing the weather. And finally, in the third section, we revised today's lesson by doing an exercise. I hope you enjoyed today's session. In the next session, we'll examine the recent past. I hope to see you in the next session. Thank you and à bientôt. See you soon.